Yo, what is the deal? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I am your man, Wasted Talent. Salute to the over 70 of you in the room. You're wasted with your brother Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this thing out to all social media. You know we don't cook until there's over 100 in here. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. And if you are a visitor and you have never pulled up to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We have cookies here. Salute to everybody in chat. I'm going to shout out and salutation to everybody. Salute to my guy, MG's, CGR's in the place, Xavier Forster. Bushido Brown. Where you been? The karate master himself. Oh, my dog Thor's in the place. The Raider Nation Drinking Club is in here, man. Shout out to my guy Thor. Salute to my dog, man. Cisco Duarte is in the place. Oh, my God, man. Anthony, you shall never get any love over here. The F up out of here with your crap. Kenny Clark is in the place. I mean, let's get started. So, guys, I know you guys have heard. Now, I was going to go live earlier, but I had some stuff I had to do. Because I heard, like, really, really early this morning, I set up a live, and I was like, you know what? Let me let it marinate. And the news is out that the Raiders are actively trying to shop and trade Jack Jones. And if no trade partner emerges, they will be releasing him tomorrow. Now, look, to me, this is the worst kept secret in Raider Nation. I mean, when you look at the history of the defensive backs that Pete Carroll have had from college to the National Football League, Jack doesn't really exactly fit that archetype. And also, couple that with the fact that Jack Jones is a guy who has been said to be a bad tackler. He kind of stepped it up towards the end of the year, so I don't want to put that on him. You know what I mean? But he's not he's not a Pete Carroll DB. And we're going to go over some of the guys who have played for Pete Carroll in college and in the National Football League. And it's a who's who, man. I'm trying to tell y'all something. It's a who's who. And you can already see, based off of the direction that the offseason has gone, how Pete Carroll likes to structure his defense and his roster. Now, listen, there's going to be a marketable difference from the Antonio Pierce defense under Patrick Graham and the Pete Carroll defense of the Patrick Graham. See, under Pete Carroll's stewardship, he is going to lead Patrick Graham in the direction he wants him to go. So there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a difference, man. See, you got a situation where when Antonio Pierce was here, Patrick Graham was the more seasoned coach. Antonio Pierce started out under Patrick Graham as a positional coach. So the dynamic is totally different here. The dynamic is completely different. This will be a Pete Carroll team, no matter who's calling that defense. And if Patrick Graham can't get on board with what Pete's doing, then he won't be here. Understand that, y'all. Understand that. So, look, we're going to get into, a little bit of Jack Jones, his tenure as a Raider. Look, Jack Jones brought a lot of swagger to the Raiders, man. He made plays, some of the most memorable plays I can remember in the last 20 years, man. He is a Raider that, to me, will always have a special place in my thoughts, right? And he's not a guy that, that I thought that they would keep, but he's a guy that, I got love for Jack, man. I will always have love for him. I hope that wherever he goes, that he does well. Then we'll talk about some of the teams that he could wind up on, some of the trade partners. If that's, if I'm being honest, I don't think he's going to get traded. I think he's going to get released. You know what I mean? Those teams, they're not going to give anything up when they know that we're planning on releasing them anyway. You know what I'm saying? For you to make a trade, you got to have leverage right now. One reason why a team might want to make a trade with the Raiders is if they value Jack Jones as a starter or their third corner or something like that, and they don't want to leave it up to chance for him to go on an open market that he doesn't come there. Now, one team will probably be the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Carolina Panthers are trying to bargain basement shop. They're trying to build that roster up. Now, if you bring in a Jack Jones and make him the third corner down there with J.C. Horn and them guys down there in Carolina, you have a formidable group down there. Carolina is starting to build up a little bit, man. They're not looking like the laughingstock. A little indigestion, man. Crazy, man. But shout out to everybody in the room, man. Happy Sunday, family. Got over 225 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. My guy, Anthony R. Hernandez. I'm not surprised at all. Spatek said this in one of his first press conferences. If he sees you giving up on plays, this is not a place for you. As soon as I heard that, I thought Jack Jones was going. And you know what? I can't say that you're wrong because I felt the same way, right? See, the thing with Jack Jones, right? The handwriting, you have some guys that are brought in strictly because they're the coach's guy. You know, we got guys on this team like Alex Kappa. Alex Kappa is a John Spatek guy, right? 100%. Geno Smith is a Pete Carroll guy, 100%, right? That's the way I view Jack Jones. Jack Jones was an Antonio Pierce guy. And I always thought as soon as Antonio Pierce was gone that whomever came in here would probably get rid of Jack. Shout out to everybody in the room, man. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Oh, yo, man, let me see. Are we on Twitter, y'all? Because I don't even know if I sent this over to Twitter. We got to make sure that all our family on Twitter is watching. We got to make effing sure. Yes, our people on Twitter is watching right now. Shout out to everybody on Twitter, man. You're my guy, Snake Fist, my dog with the $10 holler, man. Morning, wasted. Greetings to the nation. Raiders just win, baby. Snake Fist, Kimpo Raider, that's my guy. And Kimpo is a deadly martial art, too, man. That's a bad mofo, right? There's a combat veteran in Vietnam. You don't want to mess with them guys, man. Hey, Walt, you are the chaplain of the Get Off My Lawn game. The F up out of here. I still call it Twitter because it's Twitter to me. Calling it X. Get the F up out of here. You're old behind. You don't correct me, Walt. And Walt, where's your effing mock draft at? How about that? Shout out to Walt, man. Shout out to Walt. It's been mock drafting since the early 70s, man. Shout out to my guy. Yeah, man. X, that's a stupid ass name, man. X. The F up out of here. Martin, no, you cannot get a happy birthday. I hope you have a sour birthday, Martin. You're effing crap. Putting up weird pictures and stuff. Nah, Martin, happy birthday. You're from way across the pond. Many more to my friend Martin from way across the pond. I saw on Twitter that you received tea and crumpets. It's fitting. Very fitting. So look, let's get into it, man. Now, Jack Jones last year kind of, had a decent year, man. Played 17 games. He had 67 tackles, 50 solo, 17 assists, 3 picks, 1 touchdown, and 16 passes defense. Last year statistically was quite possibly his best year. It was his best year, to be honest with you. The year before was more exciting because he came in the middle of the season. His first 2 years he spent with New England Patriots. But when he came with us, he kind of broke out. He had 19 tackles, 5 assists, 4 pass defense, and 2 interceptions and 2 defensive touchdowns. But he had some memorable last touchdowns too, man. Got us into the playoffs. You know what I mean? And when you start talking about Jack Jones, man, he came with a laundry list of issues, and that's why Antonio Pierce was great that he wrapped his arm around him. He was dismissed from USC. In 2018, he was arrested and charged for commercial burglary after breaking into a Panda Express restaurant. I don't know who the hell does that, but pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor and charged to serve 45 days in a house arrest. And with the Patriots, he was suspended for fighting in practice with a member of the staff. Was arrested at Logan Airport. I mean, I don't want to just, I'm reading all this dirty laundry. It kind of sounds foul, but just let you know what kind of, player that Jack Jones has been, right? As far as, the Raiders taking a chance on him and him resurrecting his career with the Raiders. And now he probably can move on and go to a team like the Carolina Panthers, man. I'm hearing Carolina's in on him. I'm also hearing that there are other teams that are in on Jack Jones, man. The Ravens as well. That's a high risk, high reward guy. Thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate it, baby. My daughter hooking me up. She's knowing I need some tea. But the Ravens are also a team. Now, I can see Jack Jones going to the Ravens and eating, man, because you probably would not need Jack Jones to be a starter with the Ravens, man, at all. You know what I mean? They have a damn good defensive back room. You know what I mean? And, last year they were looking to get some more interceptions, man. He's a high risk, high reward kind of guy, kind of like what the Ravens did trying to trade for Tre'Davious White last year during the trade deadline. But Tre'Davious White didn't have anything left in the tank to help Baltimore down the stretch. But I think Jack Jones will offer a little bit more, especially as far as breaking on the ball and being in the defense that's that talented. So I could see Jack Jones having a market. I could see him having a market. I just think these teams are smart, and they know that no matter what, the Raiders aren't going to keep him, so they'll just wait him out. DeMarquise Wilder, my dog, what's up, Wasted? Can a 51-year-old young man get a happy birthday shout out as well? Yo, my guy, DeMarquise Wilder, happy birthday, man. Yo, the Get Off My Lawn gang is getting older and older and older. Happy birthday, my brother. Appreciate you for the $5 holler as well. Happy birthday to you and to Martin from way across the pond, man. My guy Thor. Hey, Thor. Early in the day, listen, man, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, Thor. Thor trying to turn me into a degenerate. I hope it's some whiskey in that tea, brother. Yeah, my dog, man. But look, man, be that as it may, Jack Jones, man, is a guy that, I don't know, man. I kind of would have liked to see Jack Jones get a coach like Pete Carroll that is not as rigid as other coaches, but is just seasoned enough to kind of harness. And I would have loved to see what Jack could do with Pete Carroll, man. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't want to see him. I kind of thought that Jack Jones was going to take that Nate Hobbs role in a sense, and not be as physical as Nate, but be like a nickel, a situational DB. I would have liked to see that, man. You know what I mean? But, the Raiders have other plans. The archetype for the guys they have on this defense are more physical guys, Ah, man. Wait, hold on. Hey, Martin. He said, Walt has been mocking for 25 plus years, kiddies. Yeah, that's right, Walt. We're waiting for your mock. We're waiting for it. Where the F is it, Walt? Why don't you put it on X? I want to see your mock draft, Walt. F up out of here with your crap. My dog, though, we damn near need to draft all O-line, every pick. Nah, dog. No, we don't. Our offensive line, man, to be honest with you, man, we about a player away from having a really dominant unit. I have a lot of faith in DJ Glaze, Thor. I really do. I have a lot of faith in him, JPJ. Parham is not a bad guard. He's a little small. He's a little undersized, but Parham has played well. You know what I mean? I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, Alex Kappa, if he can return the form to what he was in the Super Bowl year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that'd be great, right? Most of the time it doesn't happen, but just having a guy like Alex Kappa and a Jordan Meredith as backups, oh my God, if you get a guy that's better than those two guys to start, then you're cooking with gas at that point. And I know a lot of y'all are not hockey fans, but salute to Alexander Ovechkin, man. Alexander Ovechkin has just passed the great one. He has just passed Wayne Gretzky for the all-time leading scorer in NHL history, man. Shout out to Alexander Ovechkin, man. Wasted clothing line. Detox album by Dr. Dre. a mock draft award. Never going to get it like Info. Get the F up out of here. Let me tell you something. Wasteless Clothing Line is on the effing way. Look, man, I told y'all, man, you listen, man. Y'all know how I am, man. I don't want to have the same crap everybody else has. Man, I just said everybody else's clothing line is crap. I'm just saying, I just want to have something that is different. I just want a certain level of quality. You know, I take my wardrobe very seriously, and I would take the things that I would sell to all of you seriously. I mean, come on, guys, get the F up out of here. So, yo, listen, man. So, listen, man. I mean, that's about enough on the Jack Jones stuff, man. I mean, I just, to be honest with you, bro, it's a little bittersweet. He didn't get cut yet, Dame Dollar. He didn't get cut. The Raiders are trying to seek a trade partner today, but tomorrow, if they don't, they will be cutting him. So, I suggest that they most likely will be cutting Jack Jones. I mean, these teams aren't stupid. They're not going to, unless they feel like he's the missing link and they can bring him in and give a fifth or something like that for him just because they really want Jack Jones and they don't want to let him get out on the open market, then I can see a trade happening. But to be honest with you, I'm surprised that, you know, this date is the line of demarcation. And he just got cut now, y'all. So Jack Jones has been cut. Happy trails, Jack Jones. He's gone. Ian Rappaport released it, y'all. Hold on. Jack Jones. Look, you know, it's crazy, man. Everything happens when I'm on the air, yo. Everything happens when I'm on the air. They're saying that Jack Jones is cut. I just, this is the thing, man. Let me go. I'm gonna go on Twitter. Let me go to Ian Rappaport's page. They say the Rap Sheet has reported that Jack Jones has been cut. Let's go to the Rap Sheet. Let's see. This ain't Ian Rappaport. I don't know who the hell this dude is. With 73 followers? Yeah, that's definitely not Ian Rappaport. What the F is this guy? Yeah, people are so freaking weird, man, with these damn troll accounts, man. Let's go to the Rap Sheet. Who the F? Man, how many of these freaking Ian Rappaport? That's not Ian Rappaport either. This is crazy. You know what, man? Get the F up out of here with that crap. Y'all like 20 people claiming they're Ian Rappaport. F is wrong with them, man. Yeah, but he's been cut. He has been cut, man. Yeah, a lot of people have Morrison mocked to us. He seems like a Pete Carroll guy, man. We're gonna get into some of the guys that Pete Carroll brought on. Read some of these supers, man. My guy, Damon Wayne. Thoughts on Breece Hall? I mean, I love Breece Hall. You know, he was a guy I was really high on coming out when he got drafted by the Jets. I mean, you know, look, he's a guy that I would love if he was on the Raiders roster. I think Breece Hall could be one of the best backs in the National Football League, bro. My guy, God Family Football. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack couldn't juke the Spy Tech hit stick. Rasul Douglas, Stephon Gilmore, Justin Simmons, Revel over Will Johnson. Look, Will Johnson, if you're going to look at Will Johnson, right, you got to look at Will Johnson from 2023, right? Because last year he didn't really play much, and that wasn't the best version of Will Johnson. Will Johnson in 2023 would be a top 5 pick. Like Will Johnson in the 2023 year, he was phenomenal, right? But the thing is, which guy are you going to get? He's having lower extremity issues, hammies, and stuff like that. The thing is, for me, Jahdae Barron, Will Johnson, in that order for me this year, because I am always leery of drafting a guy who has injury concerns coming into the year. Martin, Mark, get the F up out of here with your crap. My guy CGR gifted 5 Raider Nation Unlimited Wasted Talent memberships. Appreciate you, CGR. And guys, listen, join in the Madcap fun. Listen, we are trying to get 100 new members. We get to 100 new members. We're doing a members only stream. And I'm telling you right now, the members only streams are going to be crazy because when we get guests, what I'm going to do is it's going to be for the members only. The perks of the membership is going to go through the roof this year, man. We're going to be doing giveaways. So listen, if we get 100 new members within the next week, we will be doing a members only show. Telling you, and I'm glad to see the great and powerful Walt is back in the place to be. My guy Leaky T is in a place with a $1 sticker, man. Appreciate you, man. And congratulations to all the new members. Thank you for CGR, man, for supporting the damn channel as usual, man. Yeah, what the F? Will the real Ian Rappaport stand the F up? Yo, my guy, Bushido Brown, what's up, Wasted? I hope your day is going well. Go Coach Staley and the rest of the ladies at South Carolina. Oh, yeah, shout out to Dawn Staley and all of them down there in South Kakalaki, man. Shout out to Dawn Staley, man, the legend, the Olympic legend and the place to be, man, right? So, look, we got to look at some of the guys who have played under Pete Carroll, right? Now, at USC, Pete Carroll had Troy Polamalu. I mean, who's more physical than Troy Polamalu, man? Ty Law, back in the 90s, when he was from 97 to 99. He's one of the 3 players, including Willie McGinnis and Adam Vinatieri, to make both the all-time Bill Belichick team and the all-time Pete Carroll team, right? So, these guys, Ty Law played under Pete Carroll first before Belichick got there. You got to look at a guy like Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman is the kind of corner who fits into what Pete Carroll does, man. Brandon Browner, big guys, Bam Bam Cam Chancellor. So when you look at that, the kind of player that Jack Jones is, he does not quite fit that archetype, man. He really, really, really does not, man. Yo, shout out to my guy Jonathan Lomelli, man. Good morning, brother. How you feeling, bro? How do I feel about the cut? I feel bittersweet, man. I just believe that Jack Jones just probably isn't a fit for what they're trying to do, man. But do I believe Jack Jones is going to go on and do some great things other places? Yeah, man, it's bittersweet. Because I was hoping that they can kind of work it out to kind of keep Jack around, man. Very, very bittersweet, man. Devin Witherspoon, too. Spoon is a guy, too. I just, now I know that in the draft, I know that the Raiders are definitely going to go defensive back early. I don't know whether it's going to be first round, but I think of the first 3 picks, we are going to go DB. There's no question about it. And it shows me that they're high on guys like D. Cameron Richardson, man. D. Cam is a guy that I want to see whether they're going to take him and switch him to safety. Big physical kid like that, I can see that happening, man. And Super Marcron said it perfectly, man. Brandon Brown 6'4", Sherm 6'3", Tariq Woolen 6'3". Corner size is critical for Pete Carroll. Critical, man. But it's very, very bittersweet, man. Yeah, man, it's very bittersweet, man. I wanted to see if Jack could make it, man. I definitely do. But guys, let's get into some other stuff here, man. Let's get into some other stuff here, man. Now, a lot of people are talking about, Austin Genty or Ashton Genty being taken at 6, because we're going to get into the draft a little bit, guys. And the Raiders have a top prospect meeting this week, man. They're going to meet with Mason Graham. And, I think, with the Raiders, he's visiting the Browns on Monday and the Raiders on Tuesday. And that's right off the desk from senior NFL insider Adam Schefter. But Graham, to me, is not the best fit for the Raiders from a defensive tackle standpoint. I think his teammate is. And Big Mike on his, 30 prospects in 30 days kind of covered this, man. Kenneth Grant is the guy that the Raiders will probably need to bring in. So if the Raiders are in a position where they miss out on a lot of the top guys, I would hope that they would probably move down, right? But Mason Graham is one of the best players in this entire draft class. He is the best defensive lineman coming out, and he should be a top pick. And, he probably should go before the Raiders get a chance to pick. But this draft is weird, man, because, I'm hearing some things. I'm hearing that Cam Ward is the consensus number one. Cam Ward will be taking number one. The Titans canceled their visits with Travis Hunter and with Shedeur Sanders. So that pretty much shows you what they're going to do. They are taking Cameron Ward. And I'm hearing that the Cleveland Browns are big on Travis Hunter. Like, they're going to take Travis Hunter. So now at 3, if Shedeur Sanders does not get taken at 3, there could be a free fall here if he gets past. He most likely will get to us, right? Because you look at Jacksonville. Jacksonville has Trevor Lawrence, right? Jacksonville has Trevor Lawrence. The Patriots have Drake May. So you'll have a situation where, look, man, the Raiders will be sitting there, and it's a decision whether they're going to pass on the generational running back and get the quarterback of the future, or they'll address their needs now. It's going to be very interesting, man. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. If Shedeur does not get drafted by the Raiders, I would hate to see him get taken by Pittsburgh. Now, I don't know if you guys saw, his pro day. I mean, what did you guys think of Shedeur's pro day, man? What did you guys think? What did you guys think, man? There was some people that were kind of hating on Shedeur on Twitter, talking about, he had to put all his arm strength in a 45-yard throw. One thing I got from watching Shedeur's whole pro day is Jimmy Horn Jr. looks great. If he's there late for the Raiders, I would love to see the Raiders take that kid. Jimmy Horn Jr. looks phenomenal, man. Yo, my guy, God Family Football with the $2 holler. Big Mike Raider is in the chat. Bring it, bring on and mock it up. Yeah, Big Mike Raider's in the place, man. Shout out to Big Mike Raider, man. Curb Stomper says he's weak arm, not a fan. I mean, this guy. Shout out to this guy. I think Shedeur looked accurate. I love the way, he threw a nice, pretty spiral. Will Shepard looked great. The receivers look great for Colorado, man. I mean, to be real with you, I like Shedeur, but Shedeur's got to go to the right team. Like, he says that he just turns organizations around. I don't think he's that level of talent. I think him coming here and sitting and watching for a year or two would be great for him. I would love it. But the thing is, the more I look at Genty, man, I just got a feeling that Genty's going to be, and I was wrong initially. I'm not going to lie, I was wrong. I looked a lot at Genty, man. Genty, man, just strictly as a runner, Genty looks every bit of the part of a guy who is going to be a 1,500 yard guy perennially. That is what he looks like to me. I mean, phenomenal runner, man. Hey, you say Kenneth Grant's way better than Graham. Yeah, this is getting back to the Mason Graham thing. See, it depends on what you're looking for, right? If you're looking for that 3 technique, then I don't know, man. I mean, then you're talking Kenny Grant. I mean, the one thing I noticed about Kenneth Grant gets to the quarterback. But then the thing you got to ask is he getting to the quarterback because of the attention that they pay to Mason Graham? So you can't just totally discount the way Mason Graham takes on blocks up front and how disruptive he is. Yo, Anthony, you about to get blocked with some damn Shiloh Sanders at 6, man. F up out of here, man. With my man, yo, Mason Graham, and that's the thing with Mason Graham. Mason Graham has no pass rush moves, but the thing with Mason Graham is, are you looking for that for him? Are you looking for him to be that guy, that Vita Vea kind of guy that eats up space, takes on blockers, frees everybody up, stops the run? You don't necessarily like stacks for defensive tackles are very overrated stat. I think hurries and things like that, tackles, things like that tackles in the backfield. That's the metric you want to kind of judge your defensive tackles by. Now, sacks are great from a defensive tackle. But the thing is, if you get a guy like Mason Graham in your defensive front, and Max Crosby has a bunch of sacks, and your defensive end has a bunch of sacks, you got to kind of credit that defensive tackle up front too for taking on double blocks and things like that. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Personally, I want to see the Raiders address that running back, bro. I do early. And now, however they do that from a free agent standpoint or for a draft pick, I want to see them address that early, because I don't think Geno Smith without a running game, I think he can get it done. But I think the league hasn't seen what it would look like a Geno Smith that's been protected with a running game. I think he will absolutely cook, man. Vedavia was $350. It could move, worth the first round pick. I mean, so you're trying to say that Mason Graham is not that level of talent? I mean, I'm confused here, UA. You don't like Mason Graham? I'm just confused, man. You don't like Mason Graham, bro? Now I'm a little confused, bro. Like what would be? I mean, Mason Graham 6'3", 320. I mean, Mason Graham. So you don't like you don't like Mason Graham? Bro, I like Mason Graham. I don't know if I like him at 6, but I like Mason Graham, though, bro. You tripping, man. I don't think Mason Graham fits what we do, though. I think that Grant and Big Mike Rader, him and I were having a conversation offline about this. Big Mike Rader brought this up. Yo, I'm telling you, Kenny Grant for us would probably make more sense. So, like, for me, if the Raiders were looking to go defensive tackle, I'd like to see them move down a little bit and get Kenny Grant. Yo, shout out to my guy, God Family Football, with a $5 smackaroonie. Mason Graham's two-time heavyweight wrestling champ. That wrestling strength is different. Game changer on our D-line. That's the reason the Eagles slapped KC Chiefs. Yeah. But also, and this is the piece of the Eagles you can't forget. You know, the Eagles got guys that are like at a Pro Bowl level in their defensive secondary, man. They beefed up that defense at every level of the defense. It wasn't just the defensive line. Now, did the defensive line, make most of the noise? You damn right. When you got a guy like a Jalen Carter there, and you got a guy like Jordan Davis and all these guys, right? But the Eagles, man, at every level of that defense got studs everywhere. Studs everywhere, man. And I'm gonna tell you one thing about Mason Graham. You talk about a guy that can set the edge, or a guy that can hold the point of contact, to eat up space, take on block. That is Mason Graham. Mason Graham is a damn game wrecker in the middle of the field. Yo, my guy Estot, Kenneth Grant is the sole reason Mason Graham is getting all that glory. I've checked into that BS a long time ago, bro. I think it's a symbiotic thing, because look, man, Grant is a better pass rusher. I think a lot of times when Grant gets free, man, it's because Mason Graham is getting double and triple teamed. S-Dot. No, everybody says he's 285. I'm sorry. God. Must be allergies or something, yo. But Mason Graham was 320. He's every bit of 320, bro. He does, for some reason, he looks smaller, bro. But he's 6'3", 320. He's a legitimate defensive tackle, bro. UA Mel, I feel you, bro. A lot of times it's hard to delineate what's going on when you're watching highlights. You know what I'm saying? And when you get a guy where you can't, like with all 22, you could take it and put a box around him and just watch Mason Graham, it's kind of hard to delineate exactly his value. It really is, bro. Look, if I'm being honest, do I want the Raiders to take Mason Graham? No. But will I be like upset if they take him? No, I wouldn't be upset. I understand it. I would get it. I would get it. I really think the Jacksonville Jaguars should probably take him. Yo, my God, S. Dot with the $10 holler. This is the same reason why I'm skeptical about Caleb Johnson's skills, because he is slow as heck. And the reason why he is doing so good is because of that Iowa line. Now, look, Caleb Johnson, he is a guy that a lot of people are really, really high on. You know, I'm higher on Dylan Sampson and guys like that. I'm high on Judkins. I remember when Judkins was at Ole Miss, I was a big Judkins guy. And he came over in the transfer portal to Ohio State, and it just highlighted it in my mind. Henderson's another guy. You know, RJ Harvey's another guy that I have over him. You know, so I prefer those guys over the kid you're talking about, Caleb Johnson. Oh my God, too sweet. My God, man. Yo, they say, Mason Graham, they have him listed. They got him listed at 6'3", 320, bro. 6'3", 320, they got him listed. He don't look it, though. He don't look it. He don't look it, yo. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Now, guys, crazy thing is this, man. You know, I'm sitting here and we keep talking about the 6th pick in the upcoming draft, but a lot of people are not really thinking about, you know, the 2nd round. Now, one of the reasons why I think, you know, if the Raiders get a chance to take Gentry, they should, is because I think there's going to be some value there as far as quarterback of the future in the 2nd and the 3rd round. And one of the guys that you guys have been bringing up for a long time, and as a 1st round pick, I'm against, but as a 2nd or 3rd round pick, I'm all for, is Jalen Milroe, right? I think Jalen Milroe will fit what the Raiders do, especially if you get him in the 2nd and 3rd round. You know, he's a guy that I wouldn't bring here with the 1st pick because there'd be too much pressure on him. You know, he's the developmental guy, and I understand that, man. But the Raiders, with a Geno Smith and a guy like that you wouldn't be expecting to start, bringing him in and sitting him behind Geno, that'd be the perfect scenario for Jalen Milroe, man. And he's been mocked to us a lot, too. Jalen Milroe, since the beginning, has been mocked to the Raiders a lot. My God, everybody loses weight from the combine to better their performance numbers. His game weight is going to be totally different than the combine weight. Yo, no, listen. Listen, I would take Jalen Milroe in the 2nd and the 3rd. Why not? Why not, bro? Why the hell not? Well, like, you tell me. You tell me, I definitely would. It's a guy that people thought could go in the 1st. Why the hell wouldn't I? So you guys think that Milroe will be gone by the late 2nd? Possibly. I have Mason. I have Jalen Milroe going in the 3rd, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am gonna be honest with you, man. I got Jalen Milroe going in the 3rd, man. There's so many needs and there's so many good players in the 2nd round. Like, the strength of this draft is going to be the mid-round guys in this draft. That's the strength of this draft. People don't realize how many of these dudes, man, you know, that are out there are guys that have been hanging around. You know, some of them got an extra year because of COVID and all that stuff. So you got a lot of super seniors here, man. A lot of super seniors, and I think it's the last year of that. So, yo, I'm telling you right now, you can get a lot of value from the mid rounds of this draft, man. Tell you that right now, man. And yo, look, and the Raiders are also, you know, in talks and in rumors with James Cook, you know, running back for the Buffalo Bills. Now, I don't know how true this is, man. You know, it just seems like every time there's a trade or there's anything, you know, the Raiders' name gets wrapped up in it. And to be honest with you, I don't like to always report on that stuff to you guys because some of this stuff is just fodder for lazy freaking guys in the media. You got a lot of these guys that are trying to create and manufacture news around the Raiders, and it's nonsense. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't understand how that even happens. But, you know, in an article from, you know, Dice City Sports, Derek Hagner, he said the Raiders are clear new need of a starting running back. Boise State running back Austin Gentry has become mocked to the Raiders with the 6th overall pick. However, the position is so deep this year, general manager John Spytek might find a starter on day 2 if he wishes to attack other weaknesses first. So either way, it would not surprise me to see the Raiders end up with the new running back field. However, veteran options might also be trending towards becoming available, and he becomes a connection with the Raiders' shining star. The Raiders serve as a landing spot for Pro Bowl running back. Buffalo radio host pitched a proposal for the Buffalo Bills running back James Cook to the Raiders in exchange for the 68th overall pick. Rumors are beginning to emerge that the contract negotiations between Cook and the Bills have hit a snag, leading to speculation that he could be available in the trade. And there are plenty of reasons the Raiders will pursue Cook. See, this is the reason why I think this is BS, right? If the Raiders wanted to spend high on a running back, why not draft your own guy, get him up to snuff, have him be that starter, that stud running back, and then if you're gonna be so choose to pay a running back big money, then you just wait it out and sign the guy you drafted. Like, not only do I gotta give up something to get James Cook, but then I gotta pay him too. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of cool on that, man. Kind of cool on that, bro. My guy, God Family Football, Raised for Life. So I wouldn't draft the QB at all this year, only because next year's QBs are way better, and we have our starter QB for the next 2 years. See, the thing about it is, I would, because it's always good if you haven't located your franchise quarterback to make sure that every year at some level of the draft, you're drafting a kid to develop at every turn, instead of going out on the scrap heap and going to get a guy that you know is not going to win you no games. So I'm with it. And the way I think this season is going to go, I don't think the Raiders are going to be in the QB sweepstakes anyway. They'll be too good of a football team. They might be a middle-of-the-road football team, but they'll probably be picking in that 15 to 20-something range. You don't get mostly, star stud quarterbacks. There's just going to be so many of them next year. And if you feel compelled to take one of those guys, and you feel like they're good, you feel like they're a franchise player, package some picks up in future years and go and get your guy. I mean, look, Will Howard definitely makes a lot of sense, man. He's Pete Carroll's guy. Will Howard came from Kansas State. Kyle McCord got run off like a scalded dog from Ohio State for Will Howard, and they won a natty with him. So, I mean, you talk about everybody's got their guy that they got familiarity with. Spytek got his guy. Pete Carroll got his guys. Is it time for Chip Kelly to get some of his guys? Because Chip Kelly has insight to these kids. He just was coaching against these guys. I'm sure that there's scouting reports on some of these guys are going to be major. I think that's why this is a huge, huge advantage for the Raiders going into this draft. You got guys that freaking, Chip Kelly has recruited, played against, game plan for, had some of them on his team in the same conference, all of that kind of stuff. So I think Chip Kelly being in that draft room this year is going to give you a breadth of knowledge from some of these guys. Jenny Castillo, wait, so do you think Peter's going to bring in Asante Samuel Jr. and that'll be cut Jack Jones? No, I don't. I think if they wanted Asante Samuel Jr., I think he'd be in a roster already. I do. You know what I mean? I understand what you were waiting for. He's been out there the whole time. He's only 25 years old. I just wonder, how the Raiders would view him. He's a decent tackler, not the greatest. Doesn't have any freaking interceptions last year. Well, yeah, he had 2 interceptions in 2021, 2 interceptions in 2022, and 2 in 2023. He has no interceptions last year. Yeah, man. He only played 4 games last year, too. So that has a lot to do with it. That has a lot to do with it. But I'm surprised, man. I mean, are the medicals messed up on Asante Samuel? I'm just surprised nobody has signed him yet. The Raiders wait for Geno contract to get done. Now they can make moves. I don't think the Raiders had enough cap space to get the Geno thing done. I think they're being methodical in the way they're moving about filling his roster. And I don't necessarily think that, they were high on Asante Samuel, because it's not like he has a robust market. He's floating around in the neither world right now. So the Raiders will be negotiating against themselves. They would probably just put the number out there, and if he wasn't with it, they walk away from the deal. I don't necessarily think this is a guy that they're interested in. Because what are we saving all this cap space for? Okay, extend Miller, then what? You got to have cap space all the time, bro. This is the reason why the New England Patriots were viable for 20 years. Because they always said, we don't negotiate against the market. They would tell players that. And players would either have to get on or get off. They would accept the fact that, if I want to win, I got to take a little less to be here in New England. And that's the thing. You got to always keep cap space for re-signing your own players, and then when players become available too. You have to. You have to. I'm glad that the Raiders are being fiscally responsible. I'm telling you right now, man. And like Walt said, Geno's contract doesn't matter in 2025. It's $31 million. It's the next 2 years, but they have him paid commensurate to where he is in the hierarchy of the league, and that's great, because a lot of times you get some of these freaking quarterbacks, man, they are walking up to the line and robbing people without a gun with some of their contracts. You got some of these guys that are absolutely horrible getting paid, man. Shout out to the over 500 of y'all in the room. Get wasted what your brother wasted, man. Yo, breaking news. Darius Big Play Slay signed with the Steelers. Shout out to the Blitzberg, man. Shout out to Blitzberg. And that's not a guy that the Raiders were looking at anyway, man. Mario Partita. I've been saying Ward and Sanders are mid at best. Yeah, I mean, bro, there are a lot of people that feel that way. But if you're a team like the Titans, right, you might not ever get the number one pick again. You got to take the best QB on the board. Nobody's going to get mad at the Titans if Cam Ward doesn't work out there with them, because at least they tried. They didn't pass on the situation. See, the thing that I hate is when you try to be conservative in the draft and you wind up missing on a guy who's phenomenal, because you're trying to be conservative and you don't want to hear the noise from your fans, where you're going to hear the noise from them for the next 20 years. You might as well take the road less traveled and draft a more talented guy. You got a lot of these teams, they're afraid to take Cam Ward, they're afraid to take Shador, they're afraid. Look, man, take one of these brothers and go out there and build around him. Especially if you're kicking the tires on Cam Ward, you're saying he's the number one player on the board. The fact that they wouldn't take him will probably be a character issue. Can't be his physical gifts, can't be the tape, because they got all of that. So it might be something they saw behind the scenes, which I understand that, but man, oh, so sweet, disgusting. My daughter makes the sweetest tea, man. I'm glad that she hooked me up, but BJ Green, the sleeper at D, ran a 4.740, 8.5 sacks at Colorado. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, Jack Jones gone, man. Number 37 needs to go. Yo, the Jets are not getting rid of Garrett Wilson, bro. The Jets are in the football business too. They know what they got in Garrett Wilson. There's hot sugar water. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. She put so much sugar. I'm like, yo, man, my wife and my daughter, they love sugar. I'm not a sugar guy, bro. I don't like a lot. Like with my coffee, I just want like just a little cream, and that's it. I don't really need the sugar, bro. Yo, shout out to my guy Walt, man. He goes, tons of talk at number 6. How about number 37? Questions. 37, beefy guard. Pause, Walt. You got to chill. Or wide receiver like Jaden Higgins. It depends on, see, Walt, you got to understand something, yo. It depends on who they took first. It depends on how they've addressed the guard position, up to that point. Have they gone out there and grabbed anybody else, right, in the offseason? And then now you got to ask yourself player for player, right? Do I have a dynamic wide receiver, or is there a guard that probably could have went in the first round? Like, to be honest with you, it's easier to find a wide receiver on a scrap heap than it is to find a guard. like good guard play is invaluable in the NFL. I'd probably go guard. Well, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, I know, right, Tease? I know, right? I know, right? Try to get him in the sugars, the sugies. Yeah, Walt got to chill with the beefy comment, bro. Walt, you about to get blocked with your crap about beefy. The F's wrong with you, Walt. The F is wrong with you. Well, God, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got to get to rolling here, man. Yo, get your questions out there. We are an hour in. Get your questions, get your comments in. Share this thing out to all social media. We are rocking and rolling on a Sunday afternoon, y'all. Sunday afternoon, man. Oh, my God. Shout out to the flying wonderful Yvette Niles, man. Shout out to Niles, man. Said Lil Wason wants to sweeten me. Yeah, nah. Look, I got 2 daughters. They've already sweetened me up enough. I think God knew what he was doing giving me daughters, man, because I'd have been if I'd had sons, man, I was a piece of work when I was young. I was a piece of work. If I had sons, man, I'd have been super rough on them. My brother got 2 boys. My brother is excellent with his boys, but my brother has more patience. My brother has more patience, and he has more he has more I don't know, I guess because I'm older than my brother. My dad was really hard on me. Everybody's always been hard on me because I'm the oldest boy in my family. With my siblings, I'm the oldest boy. I'm not the oldest. I got older sisters, but I'm the oldest boy. And everybody was always hard on me. So I probably would have been a maniac if I had boys first. I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah, I'd have been a maniac. My daughter, my oldest daughter, the one, my oldest that's about to go to college, she definitely softened me up a lot. A lot. My God, man. 2026 cap, 139.8, top 51. Team cap space, 155. Offense, 27. Defense, 112. Special teams, 0 and dead money. 2026 is our year. Possibly. Look, bro, the thing is that you just want to make sure that you always have the room to make a move. That's why, like, I prefer teams that are more fiscally responsible. You don't have bad contracts are things that kill organizations. The reason why the San Francisco 49ers were always really good is because they were always able to get their guys to take these team-friendly deals and take these team-friendly extensions, and they drafted a lot of their guys. Now they don't have that anymore. Now they've had to get rid of Deebo Samuels. Now they have a contract with Christian McCaffrey. If he doesn't get healthy, that contract is an albatross. They have the Brandon Ayuk situation where they were going to trade Brandon Ayuk. Then they gave him a contract, kept him, and now he's hurt. And now they have a bunch of albatross contracts now. George Kittle's a good contract, but he's getting older. Crazy, man. But shout out to my guy, God Family and Raiders First, man. With the $5 holler, man. Wait, so what's the word on Jack? Talk, as always, F the Queeps. Yeah, Jack's gone, bro. Jack, either they're trading or releasing him. And I've heard he's been released. I got to go on X and check that out. But yeah, Jack's gone, man. And the thing is, what I'm praying is, I'm just praying that he doesn't go to Kansas City, man. Oh, my God. I am just praying. And it's the thing with the Niners. They might have to give Brock Purdy the bag. They don't have no other choice. The Niners are in trouble, man. This is the reason why you have to always be fiscally responsible if you're a football team. And they got a lot of dead cap money over there. Yeah, Jack Jones just got cut, y'all. Happy trails to Jack Jones, man. Yeah, it's solid. Like, Jack has some bad moments as a tackler this year. He has, right? But Jack stepped it up. He got called out. He stepped it up. He brought it together. But it's a lot of other things that Jack Jones brings to the table, from, an anticipation standpoint, where, when you look at Jack as fans, you look at him, you're like, man, why would we get rid of a guy like that? Because you have it burnt in your memory of him running down the sideline, scoring on the Kansas City Chiefs, pulling a ball back from the fan, right? You got it in your mind, that pick that he had against when we blew out the Chargers, right? And that'll always be in the you know, in Raider fans' minds. But what you forget about is them plays where he goes and tries to, you know, take a flyer. He goes out there and breaks on the ball and gets burned. Or the times when he's getting trucked. Or the times when he's playing that Olay defense where he's letting guys get ahead of him because he's making business decisions. Look, if you can look at what Pete Carroll and these guys have done, I said this early in the show, I've been saying this every single show. Pete Carroll and this regime, when they put their heads together and they say what a Raider looks like to them, for you to be a Raider, you got to be physical. You got to hit people. You got to be a damn dog. And that's how it was in Seattle. He had some hitters over there. And I'm glad, I pray, I hope and pray that the Raiders can be anything close to what the LOB was. My God, UA Mel, OG question. Were you guys a Jeff George guy? Bro, no, because look, I was excited because Jeff George was a #1 pick. He had an arm, and you know, look, Haas was my favorite quarterback ever for the Raiders. I love Jeff Hostetler. So I was pissed about Haas not being here anymore, right? But the idea of what Jeff George could be was dope, right? Now, when he was in Atlanta, him and June Jones, he lit it up, but he was an asshole. Like, so I knew it wasn't like it was a secret, bro. Like, you kind of knew Jeff George was an ass, bro. So I was excited because of the talent, but I kind of knew how it was going to go. I was just praying that he could come to the Raiders and have a resurrection of his career and Al could get him on board. And I was excited with the fact that Tim Brown was going to have somebody that can get him the ball. James Jett and all them guys can get him the ball. But Jeff George, man, Jeff George had a damn good year with us, man. He just was an asshole. Yeah, so I mean, I was cautiously optimistic when we got Jeff George. Why are we talking about Jeff? Because we want to talk about Jeff George. What? What? Why are you always trying to come here and dictate how the show goes? What? The F you talking about? What? Because we want to. That's why we talking about Jeff George. Don't you have something to go put on a smoker or something, old man? I mean, my God. Yeah, I mean, but now Jeff George had a great year with us, bro. He just was an asshole. Go fire the smoker up, Walt. He's just trying to help you guys out. The F up out of here, Walt. The crap. Grumpy bastard. Shout out to Walt, man. He always keeping everybody on their toes, man. Yeah, man. He said the T-Bone. See, I knew it. I knew it. The T-Bone is smoking right now. Yeah, but you know, hey, look, we do a little Raider nostalgia every now and again. Yeah, we drafted QB MJ Devonshire. He sat on our practice squad. Do you think he's ready to play this year? Ryan, I would be lying if I told you that he's ready. I don't know because I haven't seen him. But MJ Devonshire has a nose for the football, similar to Jack Jones, right? But I don't know if MJ Devonshire makes this team because Pete Carroll seems to fancy those bigger guys, man. Yeah, right, Caps? Yeah, it's back in high school days, huh? Seems to see, yeah, Haas was the man, man. Haas was my favorite Raider quarterback. He really was, man, even over Rich Gannon. Look, Rich Gannon won here with us, and I liked Rich, and he was a great quarterback, but I don't like Rich Gannon. I don't like Rich Gannon. And I feel like Rich Gannon, a lot of the time, shits on the Raiders a lot. I don't like Rich Gannon. I know y'all gonna be like, really? I mean, I don't like. I just personally, I don't like Rich Gannon. Like I when Rich Gannon was on the Raiders, I loved him. But as time has gone on, when I hear him talk, I can't fucking stand Rich Gannon. Cannot stand him. I remember he used to have a show on NFL radio with Adam Shine. It was Shine and Gannon, NFL radio. Just couldn't stand him. Could not stand him. Yo, your least favorite quarterback was Jay Schrader? I mean, Jay Schrader got us to the AFC Championship game. I mean, bro, if we being honest, bro, that Buffalo Bills team was ridiculous, bro. They went to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row, dog. Come on, man. Everybody be hating on Jay Schrader, man. I like Jay Schrader, man. My least favorite Raider quarterback is between Jafarcus Russell. Let me think, man. And Kerry Collins, bro. Kerry Collins pissed me off when he was a quarterback at the Raiders. Oh, and Aaron Brooks, too. Oh, my God. I couldn't stand him. Yo, you didn't like Vince Evans? Man, I love Vince Evans, bro. Yo, DeMarcus, you know the thing with Will Johnson? I get it. Look, bro, if Will Johnson was 100%, 110% healthy, I would be all on board for it. I just don't like drafting players that have an injury concerns coming into the National Football. That's just me. But I ain't mad at you, Caps. Yeah, I know. And that was another thing. We lost Bo right before that in Cincinnati. Well, no. We lost Bo a few weeks before that because I remember we lost Bo. It was like the last game of the season because we played Cincinnati the last game of the season and we played them in the playoffs, from what I remember. Look, I didn't have a problem. Like, I like Jay Schrader, bro. I didn't have no problem with Jay Schrader. He just had a bad game in Buffalo, but we got our ass kicked through all them picks, man. Yo, you know what, too? Jimmy Garoppolo, too. Jimmy Garoppolo was a filthy bum. God. A bum. Nah, we didn't lose Bo the Buffalo game in Buffalo. We just got our asses beat. Yeah, I like Bruce Kurkowski, too. Yeah, now Jay Schrader had an arm, bro. Tweak it, man. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, bro. Yo, the flying wonderful Yvette Niles with a bomb. Salute Wasted Talent. Please add gift subscribers on iOS so I can give more to the Get Off My Lawn, Jane G. I will, Yvette. I don't know how to do. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to today when I get off. Appreciate you though, Yvette. Thank you for donating to the channel, man. Appreciate you for always saluting the channel, man, and appreciate you, man. Goddamn wasted. I thought H-Town, I was the only one who felt like Rich Gannon shits on the Raiders too much. He does it all the time on Sirius XM. He does, bro. Look, bro, when he was playing for us, the one thing for me that I remembered I didn't like about Rich Gannon is that Rich Gannon used to play for the Kansas City Chiefs before he played with us. So I already kind of was like, And then I remember when he was on the Vikings, he used to back up Wade Wilson and shit. But, bro, when he got here, he balled out. He was a league MVP, and I had no choice but to support him and like him. And he used to go back at Gruden, too, and I like that about him. But, bro, since he's retired, I can't fucking stand Rich Gannon. Can't stand him. I'm sorry. Cannot stand him. Yeah, my guy, Rorschach Raider, man. One of the worst Raider QBs is Mark Wilson. Shout out to Mark Wilson. Every time we were done and we'd be driving, he'd throw an interception in the game. Yeah, Mark Wilson was pretty bad, bro. And the thing is, Mark Wilson is the quarterback that kind of ushered in us kind of our descent. You know what I mean? Because he was after Plunkett. Yeah, Mark High Stake Wilson, bro. God damn. Yeah, they traded Jim Lachey for that fucking, yeah, man. Bro, I can't believe, we traded Jim Lachey for Jay Schrader, bro. God damn, that's a bad trade, bro. Yeah, because I remember Jay Schrader was starting for the Redskins. God damn. Y'all bringing up Andrew Walter, but we knew Andrew Walter was going to be a bum. Shout out to Mondo Reyes. Yo, we first got Gannon, the nation was pissed. We all thought he was a career backup with a noodle arm. You never know. I know. That's one of the reasons why with Geno, I'm not going to go every time we get a quarterback off the scrap heap. A lot of the times we all sit up here and say, oh, the next Rich Gannon. I don't know if he's the next Rich Gannon, but what I think that Geno brings to the Raiders is a level of talent that Aiden O'Connell doesn't have, a level of accuracy, and just competency at quarterback. Do I think that he's going to be, going up there and throwing 50 touchdowns and stuff like that? No. But he brings a level of competency at quarterback. I think that, a good year for Geno is about 4,000 yards, about 28 tuds, 7 picks. That's a great year. And I think that the kind of year that Geno can give us, we will beat teams we're supposed to beat, and we'll win it. We'll probably win 50% of games that we're not supposed to. But I think he can get us in the playoffs. Dixon Sider said, if Namath is in the Hall of Fame, Plunkett deserves to be there too. Bruh, look. Joe Willie Namath is the reason why the NFL even merged, him and Al Davis. You can't contextualize what Joe Willie is and how he got in the Hall of Fame. You can't, the numbers and stuff like that, you can't, bro. And the thing is, you got to look at Joe Namath when he was in the AFL too. And that's part of the reason why he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Joe Namath in the AFL was phenomenal, bro. Joe Namath, bro, is one of the most talented quarterbacks to ever play the game. He changed the game. Joe Namath and like Gale Sayers are two people that numbers don't define their greatness. Numbers don't define their greatness. I'm sorry. Numbers don't define their greatness, bro. Joe Willie Namath absolutely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, when you talk about Plunkett won 2 Super Bowls. He did, right? But then you got to look at the rest of his career. It's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Great, right? But if Kurt Warner's in the Hall of Fame and Eli Manning gets in there, then you got to consider Jim Plunkett. But it's starting to be where they're letting too many people in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Big Mike Rader got a question. That's crazy. Yeah, that's what kind of episode we got here, yo. We just shooting the shit here, man. Yo, Big Mike Rader, who's the biggest QB disappointment outside of Russ? Yo, Todd Marinovich. Todd Marinovich, bro. I was such a Todd Marinovich fan, bro. Todd Marinovich was, oh my God, man. I just wish he could have got his demons in order. Todd Marinovich was phenomenal, bro. Loved him. Loved him. I was so disappointed that Todd wasn't there. I thought that somehow, some way, that old Raider mystique was going to have him turn his thing around, and Todd was going to become, a perennial Pro Bowl quarterback. Man, he's a lefty and everything. Oh man, I was like, this is the snake reincarnated. Number 12. Yeah, man. Todd Marinovich. Thule, the thing with Thule, I liked Thule when he was at Washington, right? But he didn't take too many snaps for us. Everybody kind of blew Marcus Tuliasosopo up. But he didn't really, I don't even think Marcus started. How many times did Thule start for us? How many times did Marcus Tuliasosopo start for us? Not many, man. I don't think Marcus Tuliasosopo started for us, man. I can't. It's been so many years. Thule did not play for. He didn't start for us many times, bro. And you guys just brought up in the chat too. Another disappointment was Carson Palmer. I thought Carson Palmer was going to be able to get it together for us. I thought Carson Palmer was going to be able to get it together when he came to the Raiders. I thought, he needed to get the rust off. But man, I mean, so Thule was with us, man. He played 13 career games for us, bro. Like Thule didn't really start for us much, bro. He played one game in 2001. He played 3 in 2002, 4 in 2003, 1 in 2005, 2 in 2006, and 2 in 2008. So I wasn't expecting much from Thule. Once Thule started a few times and I saw what he was, bro, I wasn't expecting for Thule to break out the way everybody else was. But yeah, we got Carson Palmer off the couch, bro. And when we got Carson Palmer off the couch, I thought eventually he was going to turn back in to who he was with the Bengals. But C. Palm was the Santa Claus of the National Football League when he played with us. Nobody threw more picks than that guy. Nobody. Reda Rochak. Joe Namath had a better overall career than Jim Plunkett, and Riley deserves to be in. Plunkett won 2 Super Bowls and didn't have a career like Broadway yet. Yeah, Broadway Joe was phenomenal. Phenomenal, bro. Phenomenal. So let me ask you guys a question, right? So since we're doing this Raider nostalgia thing, right? This is what the Get Off My Lawn game does, right? Since we're doing the Raider nostalgia thing, who is a player that's not in the Hall of Fame right now that you guys think that played for the Raiders that is criminal that they're not in? And I think it begins and ends with Greg Townsend. How the hell is Greg Townsend not in the Hall of Fame? Like, yeah, and that's what we're doing right now. Yo, how the hell is Greg Townsend not in the Hall of Fame? And Lester Hayes, bro. How the hell is Lester Hayes not in the Hall of Fame? Anthony, you're about to get blocked. Fool said Jamarcus Russell. Get the F up out of here. Yo, we need to. Everybody always talks about Plunkett, bro. Yo, I think a lot of quarterbacks get in just because they're quarterbacks. But there's a lot of guys at other positions that are not in the Hall of Fame that should be in the Hall of Fame, and nobody ever talks about it. It's unbelievable, bro. You guys think Wiz deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? You guys think Steve Wisniewski deserves to be in the Hall? Napoleon Kaufman, nah. Napoleon Kaufman is not a Hall of Famer, bro. I love Knapp. Knapp's a great Raider, but Knapp don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Neither does Bob Golick. This guy, yo, Westwood said Nico Thorpe. Westwood, you about to get blocked. Get the F up out of here. Yeah, Greg Townsend, bro. Greg Townsend had a lot. Greg, yeah, it's crazy he's not in. Big Mike Raiders in the place, man. Yeah, Greg Townsend, that's unbelievable. He's not a Hall of Fame. It's about Rocket Ishmael. Get F up out of here. Look, we are not going to talk about the disappointments. We've had enough heartbreak. We've had enough nonsense. We're not doing it. Look at this list right here. Grawl said Tom Flores, Cliff Branch, Jack Tatum. I get it. I get it. Yo. Yeah, Wiz, Rudy the Vet Russo. Wiz dominated his whole career. You got Wiz in there? Rudy, let me ask you a question. So you think that Wiz should be in over Greg Townsend? And Lester Hayes, bro? Cliff Branch? Nah, I mean, yo, listen, Will Thompson. Napoleon Kaufman is a great Raider, but Napoleon Kaufman is not no damn Hall of Famer, bro. Stop it. Stop it, bro. Cut it out, man. You got guys like Sean Alexander and guys like that ain't even sniffed the Hall of Fame yet, bro. You crazy? The F up out of here. Rudy Veru says Wiz over Greg Townsend. Rudy, get the F up out of here with that crap. Lala Zato. Look, Lester Hayes, bro. Let me tell you something, man. Yo, all of those guys, man. All of those guys, the Lester Hayes, Tatum, all those guys should be in the Hall of Fame, bro. They are everything. Some of us saw those guys play. There are some guys in the chat who saw those guys play. I was too young. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was too young to really appreciate Lester Hayes and all those guys. You know what I mean? Like, the first Super Bowl I vividly remember was our win versus the Washington Redskins. That's the first Super Bowl I vividly remember. But, you know, I don't remember those old Super Bowls. I remember just watching film as a kid and watching all the old NFL films and the mystique of the Raiders and John Facenda's voice, but I wasn't there. There are guys like Walt that were there. They were there. They were like, Walt was probably 35 years old back in 1972. You know what I'm saying? But when you go back and you look at them films, you saw what they did and everything. Yo, stick them, all of that stuff. All of them old Raiders, man, all those old guys, man, they all deserve to be in the Hall. If the Steelers, all those Steelers in the Hall of Fame, all those Raiders deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. All those old Raiders, man, because to be honest with you, the Raiders should probably have as many Super Bowls as the Steelers because we were robbed. Now, look, back in 72, Walt was probably 35, 40 years old. You know, Walt is you know, and I'm not doing Walt. I guarantee you Walt is probably like 70-something years old. Guarantee you. Walt's got to be 70-something years old. He said he was 10, so that means he's lying. Walt is 78 years old. 78 years old. Walt drinks Metamucil every day. Definitely drinks Metamucil every day. A little preparation H. Very hemorrhoidal. Walt is at least 70 years old. So he was 10 in 1970. So Walt is 60, because my sister was born in 69, and she is 50. So Walt was born in 62, right? So Walt was like 61 or 2. See? So Walt was like 61 or 62. That's right. Look, listen, man. Walt is an elder statesman here. Yeah, Walt said yes, 60. Walt's an elder statesman. That's right. Goes to lunch early every day. So Walt's a little younger than my in-laws. But he's legendary, though. The freaking guy is the OG, the great and powerful Walt. So Walt is a kid who grew up in the 70s. He grew up in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? He Wang Chung'd with everybody in the early 80s. That's right. Walt was the age of the kids on the Breakfast Club. That's right, the Tish too. He's actually 62. See, I told you, Walt. Walt definitely Wang Chung'd with everybody tonight. Young man he was a young man in the 70s. He was doing his thing with freaking the Bee Gees, a little more than a woman, dancing, doing his disco stuff. Then he came into the 80s, right? And now Walt is here for you. And we are waiting on the mock draft of all mock drafts. We are waiting. Walt is a guy who went to the prom and had a powder blue suit. He hung out at the Regal Beagle. Shout out to my guy, Walt. Yo, what are you talking about? Wait, you should start a Raiders Senior Citizen Book Club. Listen, the Get Off My Lawn gang is the Raiders Senior Citizen Book Club. We have to preserve the history of the Raiders right here on this channel. So, man, it's a Hall of Famer, man. That's right. Lynn Payne is in the place. Says she'll be 53 next week. Happy birthday. Happy pre-birthday, Lynn. That's right. The Get Off My Lawn gang is strong in here. Yeah, that's right. We putting some respect on Walt's name. Yo, my guy Walt, I saw the Raiders intimidated teams in the 70s. Yeah, man. Yeah, not Walt. And I respect. I give respect to all of the guys that bring that knowledge from back when the Raiders were the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? I came on the tail end of that. But you know, the one thing I don't want Raider Nation to get lost in, it's fun to talk about stuff like this, right? It's dope. A lot of people come to my channel because we do that. But I want to look into the future. What the F you talking about, Westwood? Wasted is not scared of a damn soul. I only fear God. I show respect to the OGs, though. I've always showed respect to the OGs on my channel. The only time I don't is when people get out of line. You can't be getting out of line with the great and powerful. Wasted talent. The F up out of here with your crap. But what I will say to you is, Westwood, I show respect to the elders that show respect to the game and show respect to me. Westwood. Thank you, Walt. See, he said he loves Wasted. Yeah, Walt's a friend to the channel, a friend of mine. Thank you. The F is wrong with you, Westwood. About to get yourself blocked. Guys, let me ask you guys a question, man, because I haven't done this today. I think it's time for me to freaking redeem myself from the putrid draft I had the other night. We're gonna enter the draft, guys. We're gonna do a mock draft, guys. I think it's time for me to redeem myself for the crap that happened the other night. We starting the draft, and you guys watch out. It's not going to be random either. So, all right, guys, we're starting. We are starting the draft. My guy, Brandon, gifting 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships to the masses, man. Appreciate you, Brandon Curtis, the GOAT. Do me a favor, y'all. Thank our guy, Brandon Curtis, man. You guys get the tomatoes ready. You get the effing tomatoes ready. Mock draft is happening, guys. The mock draft is happening. Now, McMillan is a guy, much has been said about him. You know, there's an old clip of McMillan that people kind of went crazy on. I wasn't the big McMillan guy. I don't think that wide receiver is our biggest need. You know, I'm not shitting on anybody who takes McMillan early. You know, but I'm just going off a need, right? I'm going off a need. If we're talking need, you're talking running back. You're talking running back, man. You got to take Ashton Genty. You have to. We got that out of the way, right? So now we have a situation where this draft can get good, right? Now, Tyleek Williams, and I'm going to drop my short of him today. Tyleek Williams is a beast. He's a guy that's in your defensive front that will cause absolute nightmares, right? Absolute nightmares. So when you talk about bringing in a Geno Smith, right? You have a guy like Jack Beck who's a do-it-all kind of a guy. He's a do-it-all kind of a guy. Demetrius Knight out of South Carolina is one of the best pass rushing linebackers in this draft. But I'm going to be real with you, man. And I always take Demetrius Knight. I think I'm going to take Jack Beck. I think I'm going to take listen, I think I am going to take Jack Beck. Siobhan Rebels right there, but we can wait. We can wait. Let me ask you guys a question. Would you guys rather we take a linebacker, or would you guys rather take a corner, linebacker, or wide receiver? Y'all let me know. We'll do this draft together. What y'all think, man? Cornerback? Let's see what corners are available here, man. Let's look at the corner. We're gonna do corner early. Let's see. Trey Amos, Harrison, Siobhan Rebel. I think that just from a value standpoint, bro, from a value standpoint, I'm gonna take Tyleek Williams. Taking my defense sack. And Demetrius Knight is right there for us, right there. Boom. Shamar Turner's right there for us. We're taking Demetrius Knight. So our defense is just ridiculous at this point. Defense is ridiculous. Let me go see what we got at corner here. Damn. I'm taking an edge. I'm going BPA, man. I'm sorry. We haven't gotten a quarterback yet. We got our running back. Let me see what we got at corner here. Burke, Jason Marshall, Fentrell Cypress. Tommy Hill is a beast, man. I love Tommy Hill too. Let me see. I think I might be able to wait to the next round. We haven't gotten a wide receiver yet either. Let's see what we got at wide receiver. You know what I'm going to do? You know what we're going to do? We're going to go cornerback. O'Donnell Fortune is a beast. But I'm going to take Jason Marshall. Kyle McCord. I haven't taken a wide receiver yet. I haven't taken any linemen. I'm going to take Jack Nelson out of Wisconsin. I'm going to go get my man Ricky White. We got to get us a quarterback. Boom, Curtis Rourke. Get us another wide receiver, Jimmy Horn Jr. Genty, Tyleek Williams, Demetrius Knight. Heavy defensive draft. Address the trenches. Got a wide receiver. Got 2 wide receivers. B+ overall draft. B+. We're gonna do a new one. What do you guys think about that draft? You guys think that draft sucks? Worse. It's a negative F. I don't give a damn. I like my draft. Get the F up out of here. We're gonna do another one. We're not taking Genty with the first pick if he's available, though. Starks, Armin Mimbu, Kenneth Grant, Josh Simmons, Hampton. So look, what we're gonna do is let's do a trade. Let's do a trade. We'll trade down. Let's trade down. So we traded down. We picked up an extra pick, right? So now you got a Malachi Starks available, Mike Green, Armin Mimbu. I'm gonna take Will Johnson. Let's take Will Johnson, bro, at 8. Taking Will Johnson at 8, man. Cam Scatterboo's the best running back on the board at this point. Demetrius Knight. I'm gonna take Demetrius Knight. We gotta address that linebacker, bro. So now, we need to get a running back. Quishon Judkins. Come on home. Come on home, Quishon Judkins. So now, look, we're going to go. We took a corner. We took us a running back. We got to see what we got going on at wide receiver. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna wait a little bit because we have some guys that are better players that we can address in this draft, right? Draft my guy Kobe Bryant to go on along. To go on along, we got 2 corners in this draft. Dylan Gabriel, Tyler Barron. Get us a nice little edge. Let me ask y'all a question. What you guys think? Going to get us an edge? Go guard? Go guard? What do you guys think? What do y'all think, man? I took 2 corners because we got rid of Jack Jones. Took 2 corners. Look, we're gonna go a little different here, man. We are gonna go a little different here. We're gonna go a little different, guys. Look, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna take me my tackle out of. Take me a tackle. Take me another linebacker. Boom. Kobe King. That's right. Hold on. Damn, hold on. Let me see what we got left. Yo, Caleb Rainstraw. Nice little safety. Go Ricky White Jr. as usual. No, I like Teddy Buchanan. Another linebacker. Curtis Rourke. Jimmy Horn Jr. again. Beautiful draft. Beautiful, beautiful draft. Will Johnson, Demetrius Knight, Quashawn Jukins, Kobe Bryant. We got a tackle in the draft. We got a Curtis Rourke. That's tremendous value. Tremendous, tremendous value. We're doing some different things here. Shout out to Ed. You guys, look, we're doing some different things here. He said, I give this draft an A for ass. Get the F up out of here, Big Mike. My drafts are getting lower and lower. Man, get the F up out of here. You guys love this draft. We got a starting star corner, starting linebacker, starting running back, a possible another starting corner, a rotational tackle, starting linebacker, a safety that is going to fill out that safety room, another talented linebacker, Curtis Rourke, a great backup quarterback, and Jimmy Horn Jr. Get the F up out of here. You guys love that draft. Stick of y'all crap. My guy Terry Ogden becoming a member of the channel. Thank you, bro. Yo, my guy, Brandon. You know what? You guys want to do one more mock, and I'm going to get up out of here, man. We're going to do one more mock. One more mock. We're going to do trades. Let's go. We're going to start. Boom. So we want to do something a little different here, guys. Let's do something a little different. Let's do something a little different, man. I think I'm going to trade out of this. I'm going to trade out of here. I don't want to take Will Johnson again, right? So I think what we're going to do is we're going to trade down, right? We're going to trade down. Let's trade with the Dallas Cowboys here. We accept the trade. We accept the trade. Oh, man. So, man, this opens up a lot of things for the Raiders here, man. You got Ted McMillan here, Malachi Starks, Green, Will Johnson, James Pierce. We're gonna take McMillan. We're gonna take McMillan, man. TJ Sanders is a beast, man. Rebel, let's see what we got here. Because yo, it might be time we gotta address this running back room. We took a wide receiver first, man. So Ursari's available. Demetrius Knight's available. See, this is crazy because I'm kind of I think I'm gonna take Tyleik Williams. Demetrius Knight's there. I can't pass on him. So now we gotta go running back here. We gotta go running back here. We need a running back bad. I'm gonna take my man RJ Harvey. See what corners are still available. Kobe Bryant. Nah. We'll stay away here. I need to go get me another get me my guy Jacob Parrish. I'm gonna stay away from my edge right there. Boom. Hunter, Mullins, Pat Bryce. Let me see my picks here. So we got our wide receiver number one. We got Tyleik Williams, beast at defensive tackle. Demetrius Knight, beast. Starting running back, corner. So we've outfitted this draft pretty good. Now we can just kind of take BPA, right? Now we can kind of just take BPA. Now Dylan Gabriel and Quinn Ewers are available. I think it's time for us to go address this guard. We got to address our guard situation here. Tyler Cooper, Jake Majors. I like Jake Majors too. We don't need another center. I think we're going to double up at running back. We're going to double up at running back, man. We're going to go Trevor Etienne right here. We're doubling up at running back. Doubling up at running back. Kyle McCord. Wait a minute. Go Emory Jones. Get another wide receiver in that room. Another linebacker. Let me see what we got here. Ted McMillan, Demetrius Knight, RJ Harvey, Parrish, Trevor Etienne. Two wide receivers, linebacker. We'll take Jason Marshall Jr. Come on now. Come on now. You guys know you love this draft. Come on now. You guys love this draft. Come on, man. You guys don't like this draft? This draft is beautiful. Ted McMillan, Tyleik Williams, Demetrius Knight, RJ Harvey, Jacob Parrish. Yo, who is this guy? Who's the guy? We got Marv from the Wet Bandits up in my chat. Talk about it's a terrible draft. Hammer, get the F up out of my chat. The F are you doing here anyway? The F up out of here. The trash ass drafts. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. What you mean I don't got no starters? I got a starting wide receiver. I got a starting three tech. I got a starting linebacker, starting running back, corners. What the F are you talking about? Got F up out of here, man. The effing Wet Bandits up here talking this crap. Got all kinds of linebacker. Look, see, this is the thing. I don't just draft just to make everybody feel good. I'm drafting based off a need. Yo, we got two running backs. We got corners, wide receivers, linebackers galore. The F are you guys talking about? Yo, PFF has my draft rated as an A. The F up out of here with your crap. You know what? I'll do one more. I'll do a draft just like you guys like. Take all the obvious players. Let's do that. Let's do that. Genty. Boom. Then you guys go, oh, it's a great draft. Jack Beck. Oh, the greatest draft ever. Dylan Sampson. Deion Walker. Defensive interior. Pat Bryant, Kobe. Wait, hold up. Wait, hold up. We got to get a corner here. We got to get a corner here, man. O'Donnell Fortune, South Carolina. Kyle McCord. I like Kyle McCord as a backup, right? I think we can do better from a value standpoint, right? Because we got some good guards here. We got some good guards, right? Quarterback is always, a lot of these guys are see, I like Fintrell Cypress. I'm getting me another corner. We're going to go get our backup center, man. Jake Majors, Texas. Possible guard. Teddy Buchanan. Curtis Rourke. I guess the Fintrell Cypress. I like Fintrell Cypress. You love it. Get the F up out of here. You guys love it. You love CGR. You're a bum. We got Austin Genty, Jack Beck, Dylan Sampson. We got 2 running backs. Classmate, he said his draft is guard. Classmate, you about to get blocked. You love it. That's how that your Marcus Russell is drafted. That F up out of here with your crap. Walt, player rankings, you can't do a proper mock. Well, Walt, why don't you come on and show us how to do it, Walt? Listen, guys, man. That F up out of here. You for unsubscribe. Raider Felon, yo, get the F up out of here. Yo, Raider Misdemeanor, man. I thought I blocked you the last episode. Space Beast, what's up, man? I thought I blocked you, Raider Misdemeanor. Get your bum ass up out of here, man. See that shit ain't leather? Yeah. Yo, look, guys, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Yo, it's been fun. Raider Nation Unlimited. Hit that subscribe button, y'all. We had fun tonight. Tomorrow, we'll break down more what happens Monday. There's gonna be some news. I'm gonna be going live tomorrow. See, ever since I lost the draft, no, bro. Listen, the thing about it is this, bro, and I'm gonna be serious. When you do mock drafts with other guys, you don't want to draft the same players that they draft, right? So it's like if a person goes first and they take Genty, you don't want to do it because it's like you're emulating the same draft. It's like, bro, you try to go a different way. I don't want to draft the same people every freaking time because the computer keeps spitting out the same players that are available at every time. I should probably turn it up to make it more random because it'll be probably better that way. But next time we'll do what I'm going to do is I think the next time we do a mock draft, we're going to do the whole draft. We're going to do every team. How would that sit with you guys? So that's what we're going to do, man. So guys, listen, and one day that's going to happen. Imagine watching the draft and I walk out and announce a pick. I'm telling you right now, one day I'm going to get a chance to announce the pick for Raider Nation, yo. But we're going to do every single team. It's going to be a splendiferous occasion. Guys, listen, have a terrific day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Love every single one of y'all. Appreciate everybody who commented, sent the super, whatever. You guys know how much I rock with y'all, and I appreciate every single one of you guys supporting this channel. This has been a movement, man. Love every single one of you guys, man. You guys have a great, great day, man. Thank you for pulling up. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. We are out of here, man. We are out of here, man. Wait, hold on. Somebody said something slick. I'll deal with it next episode. Get the F up out of here. See you guys later.